Hey everybody, welcome back to the channel. In this video, we are going to look at the new beta for the Supernote platform. So both Books and Supernote have been coming out with some really cool stuff on beta, and I just wanted to walk you through it, show you some of the new things on the Supernote platform that are in the beta set. And these are available across all their devices. So if you're in the beta program, it doesn't matter if you have an old A5X or A6X, if you have the Nomad, if you have the Manta, it doesn't matter. You can get all of these tools that you're going to see. So let's go ahead, jump on over, and let's get started. All right, everyone. So here we are with the Supernote Manta, and I just want to show you, this isn't a large beta, so there aren't a lot of things happening here, but there are a lot of things happening here. They are really adding some functionality to this platform, and I think that that's extremely important, especially when you see things happening on Books with the new 4.2 beta that's over on the Note Air 5C. And Supernote has, I think, been working very much behind the scenes to try to compete with Remarkable's Connect service and also to stay ahead of Books and other providers when it comes to the calendar. The calendar isn't addressed in this beta yet. I know they're still working on that, but the things they have added here are really meaningful. So here at the top, there's a note that says, switching private cloud accounts may cause local profiles to be lost. Please back it up before you do that. Now, that goes down to where they support navigating between or switching accounts from private server. Now, I don't have the private server. I know people who love that. I know Voya over at My Deep Guide uses the private server, and it is something unique to Supernote to be able to do that. So I won't be able to go into any detail on the private server and what that actually means for the device, but just be aware, and this is a beta. So if you're not comfortable with betas, you do not want to install this because there can be instabilities. I push this pretty hard and I make sure I keep everything backed up on the cloud, and I tend to keep one device not upgraded to the beta, which is usually my A5X, but I occasionally will upgrade it as well just to double check it. The biggest thing, and the thing I'm going to spend a lot of time on once we get to that point, is the InkHub. And InkHub is a new app, and much like the InkFlow app, where they use that to be able to turn this into a Wacom tablet to be able to draw directly on your computer and in programs, that's similar to that vein. Supports browsing and downloading stickers, templates, notes, digests, and drawings. Now, I want to talk about why this is different, at least that I know of, and somebody can correct me down in the comments if I'm wrong about this. Remarkable Methods, as far as I know, is just about templates. And the new template hub on the Books platform is about templates. I don't know that you're allowed to basically upload and download and share anything pretty much on your device. So you can upload your digests, your stickers, your drawings from Atelier, all of that. And I just think that's crazy. It supports sharing local resources to InkHub, so that's able to pull directly from device. Importing stickers and digests for direct use, and quickly navigating to InkHub from the template or sticker pages. And I'll show you where all that functionality lives. It's pretty cool. So we'll get to that here in a minute, but let's look at what's next here. So in the notes, they optimize the pen thickness and settings. The ink pen now offers 10 thickness options from 0 to 1 millimeter in 0.1 millimeter increments, plus a 1.5 and a 2.0 size. So you can really, kind of customize that and fine tune it to exactly what you want. One thing in this beta they did was they took away the calligraphy pen. And I reached out to Rada and I asked them, why did you do that? It was really good. It had some sensitivity issues and some problems getting strokes. And I noticed that with some content David did, he put up in the Discord, and it seemed some of that was localized to left-handed people. And they didn't say why they took it back, other than to say they needed to really have it offline, fine tune it, and tweak it. So hopefully that'll come back. But for the moment, the calligraphy pen is gone. But they've made these optimizations to the pen and to the pencil, which is pretty cool. Digest supports sorting digest now, so you can sort different ways, and I'll show that as well. Supports switching private cloud, which we talked about at the beginning. It supports safely ejecting a USB drive to prevent data loss. So again, not huge things, but things that are important, and they actually are really big when you put them in context. And then if you look at what was fixed where hidden Wi-Fi networks could not be connected, fixed issue of undo redo buttons. Some of these I didn't have, so let me know down in the comments if you encountered any of these. Saving notes prompt would get stuck when restarting or shutting down the device. The issue where hidden layers were still included when exporting notes to text or docx. Again, I wasn't noticing that, but I'm sure it was happening because Supernote doesn't tend to fix things without happening. And then fix the issue where links on the main layer were not clickable after erasing everything on another layer. So again, a lot of not a huge update, not a huge beta, but very important. So let's go ahead and look at some of this in practice. Let's take a look at first the big thing, which to me is the InkHub. So InkHub is going to be found, now you can have it right here with your main apps, and I'll probably do some sorting on this. I tend to leave Kindle on here, but I could have InkHub. If I go here, it's going to be right here. So the InkHub, and when I press into that, what you're going to see here is you can search, you can go to the Explore page. What you're going to see here is the hottest things. So the most downloaded, newest going to be just downloads, things that have been downloaded. Then you're going to see newest, and that's there and available. And then you can just scroll, or you can hit view all in any category. So you have that discoverability piece. And then you get your main function. So here is the stickers, and you can go through and look at all of these stickers. Now, there aren't a ton yet. It's still being uploaded, but this started, I believe, with 2. And since yesterday, this is being recorded on April 1st, and this came out on March 30th, so actually 2 days. This has all been added, and these are people just sharing directly into the sticker packs. And what's funny is I went ahead and there it is. There's a shape sticker that I downloaded, the shape sticker pack, because I had done this with a stencil. I had created shapes, but this one is just so much better. And you can see a preview, and you can upload when you do this a bunch of different thumbnails to show the different things. This one just has the one, but some of them have multiples. And then it masks the email of the user, and then you can you can download, or you can import. And if you import, it will download it, but also add it directly into your stickers. So pretty cool. Then you have templates, and templates have a lot of them that have been uploaded the last couple of days. I mean, a big deal here. And I even uploaded 2 of them because I have been learning how to draw, and I uploaded my perspective grids. So you'll notice here, there's a perspective grid when I have it here, and when I have my other one somewhere else. I don't know exactly where it's at. But if I go into this, again, you're going to be able to see this is a perspective grid, and I have a 2-point perspective grid as well. And I actually uploaded both of those templates here, and someone can download and import those. And what's really cool about it is when you upload something, you get to provide a description, you get to put the attachments in, and then you get to pick a license. And I'll show you that interface here in a minute as well. But let's go ahead through the rest of the categories real quick. You also have notes. So let's say that you wanted to have something public on here, and there's different licensing options. But what I did was I uploaded a note where I take my students through a process called the Johari window. And this was developed in 1955. And you can see the authors here. I give them credit. I talk about what you would use this for. And it's kind of cool. It was named by taking some of the letters from their first names, so each of their first names. So that became Johari. So pretty cool. And then you can always go in if you want to update the description. I can actually go in and hit edit. I can hide it, and then I can delete it. So I have full control as the person contributing. And we'll see some cool manta drawings and stuff here in the Notes app. You can also import digests. And so, for example, here, I went ahead and imported a digest, and someone can download this. And these are my quote carousel. You can do other ones as well. So I can see this being a really powerful research tool for someone to be able to share annotated texts, because you won't be sending the copyrighted book or text, but you'll be sending snippets, and those snippets will have the author information, and they will have your notes, handwritten and or typed, in there. So it's just a really cool feature to be able to share with the community. And finally, you have drawing, and here's where you can see what people have drawn in Atelier, and they can automatically send that to the InkHub. So it's pretty cool the way it works. And like I said, it's very easy right from here. You can do an upload. So I could go ahead and hit upload right here, and then it's going to give me this information. And here's where you select everything. So you put your title in, you'll write in your information, and you can do that either handwritten or by using a keyboard and typing in a description. I usually handwrite, and then I will get rid of the guidelines so that it looks a little bit cleaner when someone's looking at it in the final product. And then you select your category, and then you get to your licensing. And the licensing to me is what's really unique about this. I'll link in the description the actual beta release, but you get all of your Creative Commons licensing, your public domain licensing, and they even have a standard InkHub license, which doesn't allow any modification other than for personal needs. So it's very similar to Creative Commons in that way, only Creative Commons lets you share it out and attribute and just not use it for commercial purposes. But again, there's a lot of nuance to that. So I would suggest you read and find what license that you are comfortable with as the person uploading. And then you add your attachment and you add your thumbnails. If you don't have a separate thumbnail, it will just take the first page or a picture of the thing that you are uploading. So pretty cool. To me, this is a very powerful a very powerful collaborative tool to be able to really share information, share different creative expressions, just a lot of fun. And so I'm super excited about this one. But let me show you now what's even more cool about how you can access this from other places. So let's create a note. Let's just create a placeholder note here. So we'll go ahead, we'll say we're going to create this note. And then what I can do is, let's just say hello. And then when I exit this, what I'm going to be able to do is if I hold down here, I can go run over and you'll see InkHub from this global navigation menu, and I can say InkHub, and now it takes me directly to that input page. So it's amazing really how quickly you can share that, and you can select multiple files, multiple components to be able to do that. And the same thing is true, so I'm going to discard that. And the same thing is true from my digest. So if I go into my digest here, and I've got some categorized notes or uncategorized entries, because I was using this for a different purpose today. But let's go ahead and say that we wanted to take this Valpo virtual entry, this Canvas update entry, and this QM update entry. Again, what we do is right here, you see InkHub, and I just press that, and now I can title this, I can add in some comments, and you'll see all of my digest entries right here. So, I mean, it's so super powerful to be able to do that. Now, I'm not going to upload those right now because obviously I don't want to throw that out into the world, but just imagine what you could do here from a research perspective. If you were doing public research and you wanted to share this out to the community, well, if you were researching with someone else, and maybe they'll figure out a way to allow you to do this with specific people or share to specific people. That would be even more cool when it comes to the research side of things. But if you're doing public research anyway, this allows you to create that public repository that somebody else can then take your digest entry, download it into their digest, and continue annotating and expanding and using that in their file systems. So it's just really amazing what you can do with it. And I know I'm saying the word amazing a lot, but quite frankly, this is a game changer to me because it's so enhanced with how many things it can do and how many ways you can access it. You saw me right there accessing it directly from a file. Not having to worry about, going to the app. I don't actually have to go to the app, but you can't do it directly from a note. So that's not, you don't have an export to InkHub here. That's something that I don't know if they'll add in the future or not, but they may think about it. Well, actually, you do. We just found another use case. So you don't even have to leave the note that you're in. And if you go to export, it's going to automatically select that and you can go straight to InkHub from here. So that's something I didn't know until I filmed this video. So from within context where you are, anywhere, you can automatically go ahead and send something to the InkHub. That is really, really awesome. And I can't overstate it too much. Let's just do an atelier and see if it does the same thing there. So we'll open up, just a random atelier app. They've also, and I think this may have been in a different beta, but they've also added in pressure sensitivity and tilt on the pencil brush. So if we go here, let's go ahead to 8B, and you'll see the lighter I get versus the darker. And then if I tilt, I'm going to actually be able to make that even wider. I'm still learning to draw, so I've not gotten into all of that yet. But the idea that now you have tilt sensitivity on the pen, then that gives you some different options to be able to do that. It's only on the pencil tool, I believe, for right now. But let's see if we can do our export. So let's go here and let's go to export and share. And you've got PNG, PSD, and SPD. And then, yep, right here, you've got share to InkHub. So again, that is so cool to be able to share from absolutely any of these places. So the last thing I want to show is this difference with line thickness and with the tool. Now, again, I kind of am a creature of habit, so I get with something I like and I stay with that. So I kind of stay at this 0.5 on the regular non-pressure sensitive pen, but now you can go all the way up to this preset of 1, but then you can actually go all the way up to 2. So it's not quite a marker. It's still an actual pen, but you can write with that in that larger style and then be able to get those straight lines or anything else you would want to do with that pen. So again, it's hidden a little bit. It's not a preset, but when you go beyond the 1, it will allow you to do that. So pretty neat functionality. I like it a lot. I think it's really cool. And I showed you the tilt on the other one, but it is really just really cool what they've done with this beta. I think it's awesome. I think that they're moving in the right direction. I think they're doing things that if they come out with something like this and the revamp of the calendar, I really don't think you can beat Supernote and BOOX right now in the amount of tools, the amount of options that you have. They're both moving in similar directions. BOOX is moving towards introducing a calendar for the first time in their template hub. Supernote is introducing things like this and moving towards revamping their calendar, which is already good, but making it even better. And then you begin to wonder whether that Remarkable Connect subscription holds the same value that it did. I understand the value it had at the beginning, the idea of community created tools, paying a subscription for that. But Supernote and BOOX seem to be going at this from the opposite direction. They're saying we're going to create an ecosystem for users to share. That way, all they do is create the architecture. They're not responsible for paying for content for people to be able to reuse, and they're allowing users to take the mantle and share out what's most meaningful for them and to download what's more meaningful for them, to be able to like it, to be able to share it again. Some of these already in 2 days have 50, 60, 70 downloads. That's amazing. And just that that's happening is just a stellar thing to see. So let's go ahead. We'll jump back over. I'll come up with my final thoughts and we will wrap this all up. Hey everybody, thanks for hanging in there with me on this one. This was a really fun video to do, and it was fun for a lot of reasons. One, always been a fan of Rod and the Supernote platform, been doing a lot of books content as well lately. I think these two companies, and I think Supernote in particular with this beta, are really pushing the envelope for what these devices were meant to do for a lot of people. Now, it's not going to be for everyone. I mean, if you're looking for AI functionality and AI tools, you're not looking for a Supernote device. That's not something you're going to find on there. Books has some AI functionality, but again, even it is not pushing the forefront on the AI side of things. But if you're looking for something that can be highly collaborative, that can allow you to share with a community, and that is making it so that you have very useful and structured organizational tools, Supernote and Books are leading the way. To me, by far, these two companies in their betas with shareable configurations for your Ink Center, with shareable templates, with Supernote diving in and saying, no, we're not just going to share templates. We're going to share stickers. We're going to share digests. We're going to share notes. We're going to share pictures and drawings. All of that just transforms the experience of owning one of these devices. And what's really at the heart of that is it's community driven and community supported. That's why it's such an important thing. The idea that none of this is behind a paywall, that you don't have to pay after you've spent as much money as you do on these devices, that you don't have to pay for an extra service or an add-on or some other thing to be able to sync your documents to the cloud, to be able to have a template repository, to be able to share all of your different document types with other users is just really something that no one else is doing. And I think that that's where I'm really excited about this beta. I've never had Supernote not do what I need. Every feature they add, every tool set they add, everything they do adds value to my workflow. It isn't something I need for my workflow. And I hope that makes sense. And I hope that that's the way that you will think about it if you're thinking about purchasing a device, whether it's Books, whether it's Remarkable, whether it's Supernote. Think about what you need in this moment. And if the device does that, if it clicks and checks all of those boxes, buy that device. You won't be disappointed. If it does everything you need, you will be fine. Then what's wonderful is if as the device evolves, you find new and innovative things to do and new ways to be able to be even more creative or be able to do more and more things, then you're in a win-win scenario. This device, my original A5X actually, has done since day one everything I needed it to do. But I do so much more now because of the things that they have added throughout the years. And when I get to my big 5-year video with Supernote, I'll talk about that growth and that evolution over time, but that's not the place for this right now. This is about the beta. This is about the vision. This is about where Supernote is headed. And quite frankly, I'm bullish on it. I see it as a very positive sign of things to come. So hopefully this has been valuable to you. I try to bring as much value as I can and really help you understand how I might use this, how I might collaborate with this. But this is the wonderful tool set that they're building out in this beta. And I really hope they get it to production soon so that more and more people can collaborate with it. But I don't want them to rush it. I want them to take their time. But until next time, I'm going to put my Patreon, I haven't done it in a while. I'm going to put my patrons and my Buy Me a Coffee and YouTube insiders all up on the screen. Please take a look. Thank you all so much who have supported me in this journey. Really appreciate it. And until next time, keep on moving forward. I will talk to you soon and have a great evening. Bye now.